Hi everybody, another video about Beatles related items. I picked many books. I picked many books all over Europe, many locations, many stores, many countries. And today I want to show you part of my Beatles book collection. But before I start, I wanted to ask just a question, just a thought. Quite recently I uploaded two videos, one of them being my Beatles related autographs with a full story about Paul McCartney autograph, and the second video is the review of my Beatles UK album collection, the part 1 from 63 till 66. I mean, in all those videos, I'm just talking about the facts. The Beatles albums that I have all of them are first pressing, mono pressings, the British originals. I mean, I couldn't be wrong. I couldn't say anything wrong. And the Beatles autographs, I mean, these are unique, one-of-a-kind items, non-replaceable. But my question is, somebody didn't like my videos and hit dislike. Not that I'm complaining. I'm not complaining about anything. I just want to know, because I'm not that experienced in making videos, and many of you out there are more experienced with several years of making videos. So I just wanted to ask you a question. What does it mean when somebody makes a dislike on your video? Did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Did I say something not correctly or something? Or they just, just hit dislike for fun. So it would be nice if you could share your thoughts with me and write a comments and explain to me or share with me your experience about it. Why people hit dislike on the videos like that when you're showing your autographs? I mean, this is not something that you can buy or something that you can have, or I mean, this is one of a kind. So I didn't really understand why somebody hit dislike. Once again, I'm not complaining. It's free choice. I'm not gonna delete videos or do anything. I just wanted to know, all of you experienced guys out there, if you can share your experience with me, and did you have some kind of a situation like that? I mean, a lot of us get dislikes on their videos, but I just wanted to know, what does it mean? What does the people express by that? Was the video bad? Was the material bad? They don't like my autograph, or what? So, would be glad if you could share your thoughts with me. So, now I want to talk about my Beatles books collection. And the first thing that I want to start with is this little book here. It's called Complete Guide to the Music of Beatles. It has 2 volumes. 1 and 2, and here it goes album by album, song by song, and explaining short information about the song. And also it says here the dates when it was recorded. So for example, if we're talking about the song Here Comes the Sun, which was written by George Harrison, of course, from the album Abbey Road, it was recorded on 7th, 8th and 16th of July, 6th, 11th, 15th and 19th of August of 69. So, very good information. The part 1 consists only of studio albums and Past Masters 1 and 2. And this one here, the part 2, is the anthologies and the BBCs. And yeah, it has some nice pictures also inside, and here also. So it's an album by album, song by song guide, and it's a good explanation of every song, and just a short review to each song, who wrote it, if it's a cover version, and when it was recorded. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is something that I bought. By the way, these 2 books I bought more than 10 years ago in Israel. So, the next book that I want to talk about is The Guide to the Beatles London, written by Richard Porter. This one I bought in 2009 in London. in the Beatles coffee shop. This book explains here every street and every square in London that had anything to do with the Beatles. It goes road by road, place by place. For example, here is the Apple shop, 94 Baker Street, and here is the picture of it and the explanation. So, very interesting book, and I bought it as a souvenir, but I decided to keep it for myself. Really like that book. So the next thing that I want to talk about is this fat book here, The Beatles by Hunter Davies, the only ever authorized biography. This is the full Beatles biography by Hunter Davies, the famous book that we all know, with great pictures inside, famous pictures inside. And this is the biography of the Beatles. This is a 40th anniversary edition. I picked it up just quite recently, haven't viewed yet. But 5 years ago, here on the flea market, I picked up this book. This is a German edition of Hunter Davies' The Beatles, the story of the Beatles. So, these two books are the same, but different in size. This is in German. This is a German edition. So, the next thing that I want to talk about is the book John Lennon, Come Together, John Lennon in His Time, written by John Wiener. This book I bought in 2014 in Greece, in Athens. And this book is not something like a biography of John Lennon. This book talks about his political points of view. And yeah, like it says here, John Wiener brilliantly examines Lennon's deeply held radical beliefs and explores how they influenced and were influenced by the political climate and culture of the time. So this is more about the time period from 68 till 74, 73, about political life of John Lennon. So it's a very interesting and unique book in its own way. I haven't read it the full yet, but one day I might. So the next thing that I want to talk about is this interesting book, which is called The Complete Beatles. This is not just a book. This is all the musical notes for each and every Beatles song. So this is for piano, vocal, and easy organ, but it also can be played on guitar if you like. I mean, this is a very good notes and musical lesson for guitar beginners also. And what is really interesting about this book, that it has here very interesting artwork. And I've never seen this kind of artwork before. This is John Lennon picture here. And yeah, drawings of George Harrison with the whipping guitar and the Cry Baby Cry. I mean, the illustration of the Beatles songs. And there are some nice pictures also inside. This is only like 21st pages. And here is also this, drawings, abstract drawings. And here is also very interesting drawing with a Ringo picture on it. John Lennon. Yeah, so I've never seen these illustrations before, only in this book. And I have to think about what does it mean and what does it have to do with the Beatles. I'm sure that this is the a visual representation of each Beatle, some of the Beatles songs. But it's very unique in its own way, and it's a very good book, very nice book, and you can learn the basics of Beatles songs playing on guitar, on piano, thanks to this book. So, the next book that I want to talk about is called The Art of the Beatles. This is the exhibition catalog. The exhibition was held from 4th of May till 30th of September in 1984 in Liverpool. And this is the original 1984 catalog. and it has drawings. It doesn't have many pictures inside here, but it has very interesting drawings and the guide how to of this exhibition hall. And there are some, you know, some abstract, yeah, here are some pictures. But mostly it consists of drawings about the Beatles and the fantasy drawings about the Beatles. And here are some nice pictures. Yeah, this is a Chaos in the Creation in the Backyard cover. The picture that was used for the cover. And after the pictures, it starts the artworks. The artwork. For example, yeah, this is the drawn Beatles. Many painters present their versions of Beatles illustrations, and here is the John Lennon illustration. So it's not a regular book that you can buy somewhere. It's the exhibition catalog. I think it's rare in its own way, and I really love that outtake, this picture. And the cover also has drawn Beatles. So it's a very interesting exhibition catalog, which is called The Art of the Beatles, and there are some nice works here, nice illustrations. Some I really like. Yeah, for example, this John Lennon drawing is very nice. So the next I want to talk about is the stories behind every Beatles song. We go song by song. It's something similar to the first book that I showed, but it's more expanded version. So here we go song by song, and there is a short story behind every song, and here are some interesting pictures also. So it's very interesting also. I really love that picture of John Lennon here. And also this is the explanation of song by song, sort of a guideline to the Beatles catalog once again. The next thing that I want to talk about is this book. This is Shout, the story of the Beatles. It's in German. Yeah, this one is in German. So this is also illustrated and pictured illustrated book on German, also about the Beatles, and it has huge pictures here inside. So the same story, the same information about the album by album, story by story, and yeah, here also nice pictures. And some rare pictures, very interesting rare pictures inside, and it says, yeah, once again the same story that we all know, the beginning to the end. So another interesting book. So, and another book that I purchased recently is by Ringo Starr, which is called Postcards from the Boys. Not to be confused, Postcards from Paradise, the album. This is the book, and it has a very interesting cover. First you see 3 of the Beatles, and here is Ringo. So 3 of the Beatles and the Ringo picture. So this book doesn't have Beatles pictures. It has only in the beginning, it has only these 2 pictures. And this one was released as a limited edition at first with the autograph from Ringo Starr, but this is a regular edition. And page by page it has all the postcards that John, Paul and George sent to Ringo, and on the first side there is a front cover of that postcard, and this is a back cover and a short explanation by Ringo. So this goes like this. Very interesting, very unique, and the boys wrote some interesting things on the postcards. It's very amusing to read it. And another picture that I want and another book that I want to show is also about John Lennon. Is a Playboy report, everything about him and the Beatles, also in German. It's a short story about John Lennon's life and the Beatles. John Lennon's life and the Beatles. Yeah. And the last but not least thing, this is not a book actually, it's still a magazine. When I was in Greece, along with the John Lennon book, I also bought the Beatles magazines. I found a bunch of it just lying around in a corner of the shop. So this is from 1976 with a replica of the original from the 60s. This is also from 1976, and 10 pieces that I found here, they are from 92. It's not the entire year, it's not the 92 in its entirety. 2 months are missing. Well, somebody bought it, but I was lucky to find these 12 books, the Beatles monthly book of 92 and 2 from 76, just lying around, and I just bought it. A couple of euros, a funny price. So very nice thing to have. Also contains interesting pictures. And the last book, but definitely not the least, I would say most important book in my collection. I've already showed it once before, but I thought, since I'm talking about the books, I cannot not mention. This is the original Let It Be book from the 70s, from the box. So, you know, when you're talking about Beatles memorabilia and the books, you cannot not mention it. So this is the most important book in my collection. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Just wanted to show you what I found recently in the bookstores and the flea markets. So looking forward to your answers about my first question in the beginning about the dislikes, why people do that, and share with me your thoughts about my books. I will give the links to those videos in the description section below, and just share with me your thoughts in the comment section below. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.